This lesson is on using congruent triangles. The essential question for this lesson is, how can proving triangles are congruent show that certain sides or angles of the triangles are congruent? You need to remember some things about triangles. Any triangle is composed of 6 parts. It has 3 sides and 3 angles. Now, when we prove that triangles are congruent, we don't need to prove that all 6 parts of each triangle are congruent to the corresponding 6 parts of the second triangle. However, once we've proved them congruent, then we know that all 6 parts are congruent to their corresponding 6 parts. Another thing to remember is what we're doing when we're doing a proof. Just as a refresher, remember that a proof is something that you are using to show that something is true. Your audience, you have to assume, is somebody who does not know all the details of math. So that is why you cannot assume anything. You cannot omit steps, and you must give valid reasons for each of your steps. Because you have to remember, this person who you're basically writing the proof for doesn't know all the things that you might know, and you cannot assume that they're going to take and do the steps in their heads, that they are going to need to be handheld and walked through every single steps, not omitting or skipping any steps at all. So, how can we go about using congruent triangles? So, what I'm going to tell you here is a few steps for a way to prove 2 segments or 2 angles congruent. So the first thing you have to do is identify 2 triangles in which the 2 segments or angles are corresponding parts. The second step is to prove that the triangles are congruent. Remember, we have some postulates and ways of proving triangles congruent, so use whatever you've got to take and prove the triangles are congruent. And the last step is simply to state that the 2 parts are congruent using the reason corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent, or CPCTC. Now I would like you to do problems number 1 and number 2 of the classroom exercises on page 129 of your text. Post the answers in the Dropbox. Thank you.